Okay, I think this is recording. Let's share my screen and get this presentation started. All right, thank you very much for joining my presentation. This is for BUHI bags, and this is my presentation to the board. I'm Amanda Olson. I'm your presenter today. My contact information is below. Please let me know if you have any questions. Without further ado, let's start the presentation. So just a quick overview. We're going to go over CMO goals. We're going to go over my goals in relation to those CMO goals. My marketing plan, the strategy that I used in the simulator, content success. I will talk about what was successful as I chose content for my campaigns. We'll talk about the channels that I used. We'll go into a little detail on crisis management and how I handled our crisis with Taylor Swift. And then near the end, we are going to go over growth and financials. This is the fun part where we go over the numbers and show what we did with the budget. And we'll cap all that off with a conclusion. Next, CMO goals. Spend the entire budget. Grow brand awareness. Increase engagement. Increase sales. Outperform our peers. My goals were a little more modest at first, I will admit that. Where CMO said increase sales, mine was encourage revenue. At first I didn't know how much money I'd be able to make, if I'd have any success with this. That got a little more aggressive as time went on. I wanted to promote our brand. I wanted to get our name out there. I also wanted to increase engagement. Part of the whole thing with social media is getting people to talk to you, talk about your product, start sharing it with your friends. It's huge. So, onto marketing plan. First, I wanted to discover our market needs. I researched our demographic, target audience. What were they looking for? A lot of them of a similar age of 18 to 26. They wanted travel. They're all about adventure, fun. They're young. So let's give it to them. Our bags are convenient. They make traveling really easy. I wanted to just drive that message home. Associate BUHI bags with fun. I mean, we even have a palm tree in our logo. Like, let's totally get the message out there. I wanted them to associate adventure and fun with BUHI. So, discovering that market need, we went on to create engaging campaigns. I wanted to get customers involved. I wanted them to see that we had a message to share. Promote successful posts. So I would always, at the end of a simulation, go and see which ads perform the best and adjust the next week's budget to drive more money into what was successful. If it wasn't working, it's for a reason. Let's keep focusing on what is working. Let's find what will work. Let's make it happen. Simulation strategy. So I created the campaigns in Excel at first. Sometimes I would use some scratch paper if I was in a hurry. And I would create those campaigns based on the analytics of what I was finding from the previous campaigns based on what was working. Again, part of the strategy was to increase awareness. I wanted our name to be associated with travel, with fun, with adventure, with romance. Those are all things that were very important to our demographic. So that's what I wanted to focus on. Promote activity. I wanted to get them engaged. Don't just look at a picture and be like, oh, that's nice, and they move on. I wanted to get them using that part of their brain that says, hey, this is cool, let's share with friends. It gets the word out there for us, and it gets them involved. That's what I wanted to do. All of this was with the goal to increase ROI. I know at first I was a little timid about how successful this was going to be. As I got momentum, ROI became more important. Content success. Picture selection for the ads and promotions and campaigns was huge. I found pictures of women outdoors, using our backpacks or not were the most successful. Our demographic is young college, young professionals, romance and beauty and travel. It's all part of what they were looking for. So that's what I wanted to promote in the picture selection. Using unique captions was a little different across the different platforms, but I didn't see that quite as important as the pictures. So I did have unique captions, but I kind of wanted a unique theme, if you will, throughout the campaign. So I used the same hashtags, and I would tweak the text so that it would work for the different platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, and just to see what was more successful, what was getting more results. Call to action. Again, I wanted to focus on BUHI bags is associated with fun, adventure, travel, romance. I wanted to get people involved, get them thinking about our name, sharing our name. So in all of our posts, I would call them to action. I would say, where has your BUHI bag taken you? Hashtag BUHI adventure, share with friends type of a thing. That hashtag that I used that was really successful was hashtag BUHI adventure. I liked it because it associated us with the fun, with the adventure, the travel, and it also brought our name right into the forefront. That was really important. Posting every day was huge. We had to get our name out there. We're competing with lots of other companies. Let's do this fast. Let's not be annoying, but let's get in people's faces. Time of day was critical. Some days, sometimes of the day, people are just not looking. So they won't even see our ads, no matter how much money we put into it. I found early morning hours and then the hours right after work were the most lucrative. So that's what I focused on. Sometimes I posted twice a day. I had to get really assertive and aggressive just to get our name out there, start getting those returns on investment. Channels that were used. I will admit I put most of it into Instagram. Most of my success was happening there, so I just drove the budget that way. Facebook did well as well, but by the end, Instagram was where a lot of the lucrative activity was happening, so that's what I focused on. Other channels, I started with more budget to the other channels, but they just weren't performing as well. I wanted to just dig in and focus on these two. They were really important with our demographic. A lot of activity happening on Instagram. So I just wanted to put the money where it was most valuable. Okay, crisis management. This was the fun part. So Taylor Swift found in a backpack of ours that she had purchased a note from a Chinese worker in a factory overseas. She had an interpreter translate it, and it pretty much said, I'm working under these inhumane conditions. This is slave labor. Help me. She posts it all over her social media. So our name, our brand name, BUHI Bags, is now associated with factories that are using slave labor. This is very bad. This is our crisis. What are we going to do? The buck stopped with me to come up with a campaign to try and reverse this. Ag, what a mess. Number one, don't deny it. It's kind of like a kid caught doing something naughty, and you're like, did you get that cookie? And if you deny it, everybody knows you're correct. Everyone knows you stole the cookie. Like, yeah, just denying it just makes it worse. So don't deny it. Make a public apology. Yes, our factories, the factories we were using overseas were using slave labor. Don't deny it. In fact, go to the social media channels where Taylor Swift posted the original note and make a public apology. Show that we're human, that we want to do better. Also, I wanted to start an aggressive new campaign to promote fair trade. It's a very, very hot topic with our demographic, and I felt like if we could get on the fair trade bandwagon, we would get Taylor Swift on our side, we'd bring in her audience, we'd also make sure we didn't lose any of our loyal customers. We needed to thank her for bringing this to our attention. And so part of this new campaign was sending a representative overseas to go film what's going on in those factories as best we could. Go find a new factory where fair trade policies are being used. Let's partner with them. I also encouraged on social media that our customers should challenge other companies to do what we're doing and look into more fair trade options for their manufacturing. Growth in financials. New followers, you will see some of our numbers there. Shares did really well, new followers well. Impressions did very well. Engagements, 6 million. Clicks, very good. What I wanted to go over was customer satisfaction. We got 5 stars. I know that seems like just a little thing, but for me it was huge. Customer service is ground zero when it comes to customer retention and satisfaction. So when someone would come to our website, we did not ignore them. We did not brush them off. We answered their questions as courteous and as helpful as we could. And as a result, we got 5 stars on our customer service. So great customer service team. Thank you so much. As for revenue, we ended with a little over $1 million. I was so happy. Most of that came from Instagram. Next came Facebook. And then that would be the other social media channels, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter. I honestly just did not promote those as much as I did Instagram. Instagram was the cash cow. That's where I threw most of the money. That's how I drove up our sales. I did all this within the weekly budget of $5,000. I was a little nervous about spending all that at first, but once I saw with spending money, we make more money, I was like, boom, we're using every dollar every week. Let's do this, team. In conclusion, just to cap it off, we went over CMO goals in relationship to mine as social media marketing manager. We went over the marketing plan, my simulation strategy. We went over what content was more successful, channels that we used. Crisis management, I feel like my team did very well handling what could have been a devastating crisis for our company. Growth and budget, we went over the financials. I feel like we did extremely well. I'm very pleased. And you will also see there were references to the pictures used. Let me know if you have any questions. And I am so excited that we had this opportunity. I love social media. It's been a great semester. And thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.